1-1.
Szanowni Państwo, po ponad roku imprez z małym bądź bez udziału publiczności widzimy się ponownie na pięknym hipodromie w Strzegomiu w Morawie, na hipodromie Ludowego Klubu Sportowego Strzegona. I tutaj jak zawsze, jak zgodnie z tradycją, w drugiej części czerwca rozgrywany jest konkurs Lotto Strzegom Horse Trials. Kilka klas podczas tych zawodów, ale ta najważniejsza to klasa w randze 4 gwiazdek zaliczana do serii Pucharu Narodów. To drugi etap tego pucharu w tym sezonie. Nie wszystkie się odbyły, bowiem na wiosnę jeszcze część europejskich imprez zostało odwołanych z powodu pandemii. Ale dziś tutaj najlepsi jeźdźcy z całej Europy rywalizować będą w trzeciej próbie wszechstronnego konkursu konia wierzchowego. Zmagali się najpierw na czworoboku, w piątek oceniani przez jury co do precyzji wykonywania ruchów, co do ujeżdżenia konia, co do dynamiki tych ruchów. Potem wczoraj bardzo trudny, techniczny cross z 2 przeszkodami wodnymi, blisko 4 km galopu w bardzo trudnej normie czasu. Warto powiedzieć, że wczoraj w tej normie czasu nikt się nie zmieścił i dzisiaj jeszcze przed tymi parami konkurs skoków. Na prowadzeniu Polacy. Oni, ażeby to prowadzenie utrzymać, razem nie mogą zrobić więcej niż jedną wrzutkę, bo przewaga nad drugimi w tabeli Niemcami jest minimalna. Co czeka na zawodników na parkurze? Oczywiście zgodnie z przepisami tej klasy 12 przeszkód, 15 skoków, bowiem 2 przeszkody to kombinacje, jedna podwójna i jedna potrójna. To wszystko zestawione w dość trudnym układzie, bardzo skondensowanym, co sprawia, że te skoki trzeba wykonywać bardzo szybko i tą 13 przeszkodą może okazać się norma czasu. Ale to skondensowanie, to ustawienie tych przeszkód na dystansie zaledwie 480 metrów, a więc niespełna pół kilometra, będzie też świadczy o trudności tego parkuru. Jedynka, pojedynczy skok, przeszkoda biało-czarna z logo Lotto Strzegom Horse Trials w narożniku, tam gdzie odbywa się dekoracja. To jest double bar, przeszkoda wysoko, szeroka. Dość łatwa na początek, przedni drąg zawieszony troszeczkę niżej niż tylny, tak żeby lepiej tę przeszkodę wpasować w parabolę lotu konia, żeby nie prowokować błędu już na jedynce. Dalej obszerny zakręt, taki o kącie gdzieś 230-220 stopni na stacjonatę z herbem miasta Strzegom. Gmina Strzegom wspiera tutaj wydarzenia najwyższej światowej rangi organizowane przez Stragonę Strzegom na tym hipodromie. Dalej lewym, dalekim łukiem, spokojny galop, początek tego parkuru dość spokojny i okser przy telebimie, okser Polskiego Związku Jeździeckiego. Nie mówię o wysokościach i szerokościach, chociaż o szerokościach troszeczkę powiem. Wysokość przeszkód w Pucharze Narodów we wszechstronnym konkursie konia wierzchowego to 125 cm. Dalej trudny zakręt w lewo. Myślę, że najtrudniejszy zakręt na tym parkurze. Zakręt taki troszeczkę ostry, kąt poniżej 180 stopni. Trzeba wyjechać, oczywiście trzeba uważać na normę czasu, ale trzeba dość daleko dojechać do loży VIP, ażeby nie ściąć zbyt szybko zakrętu na stacjonatę Worbrock. To jest ta stacjonata tutaj biało-niebiesko-zielona. I dalej daleki łuk do przeszkody DCU. Przeszkoda DCU ustawiona pod dębem, to jest okser. Najszerszy okser na tym parkurze, on ma rozpiętość maksymalną dla tej klasy i w Pucharze Narodów taki jeden okser musi tę maksymalną rozpiętość mieć. On ma rozpiętość 145 cm. Niby daleka linia, niby trzeba się spieszyć, ażeby zmieścić się w normie czasu, ale biorąc pod uwagę to, że okser DCU ubezpieczenia jest bardzo szeroki, to wyjeżdżając ten łuk zawodnik musi myśleć o tym, aby na co najmniej 2 kroki galopu przed, 2 fule przed tego konia wyprostować, żeby ten skok nie wypadł tutaj na układ. Po DCU zakręt w prawo i o ile powiedziałem już wcześniej, że początek do przeszkody numer 5, te przeszkody są ustawione dość luźno, to dalej wszystko dziać się będzie bardzo, bardzo szybko, a to świadczy o trudności technicznej tego parkuru. Zakręt w prawo, jeszcze obszerny i linia na 4 kroki galopu konia, 6 okser, 19 metrów, to pasuje na 4 kroki galopu konia do 7 stacjonaty kofr i potem od razu prawy głęboki łuk, najlepiej na 7 kroków galopu konia i potrójna kombinacja, okser, stacjonata okser, lotto Strzegom Horse Trials, najpierw 11 metrów do stacjonaty, 2 kroki galopu konia i potem 8 metrów, a więc krok galopu konia do oksera. Zestawienie takie okser, stacjonata okser w potrójnej kombinacji to jest najtrudniejsze z możliwych. No trudniejsze jeszcze by były 3 oksery, ale tego się nie stosuje. Dalej prawy głęboki łuk, a w zasadzie zakręt, dość szybko przychodzący, a żeby znaleźć właściwą drogę, tu jest ustawiony troszeczkę taki klomp, a żeby pokazać właściwą drogę, ten klomp tutaj ułatwia, żeby zbyt szybko tego zakrętu nie ścinać, ale i tak to jest szybko. I znaleźć drogę, dość ona tu jest daleka, to będzie gdzieś około 10 kroków galopu konia, do przeszkody numer 9, do stacjonaty Dolnego Śląska. Już jesteśmy na 9, proszę zobaczyć, jak to się w tej chwili szybko dzieje, jak szybko następuje jedno po drugim. Zakręt w lewo, obszerny, za dębem i ostatnia linia. Linia, którą rozpoczyna triple bar brązowy z logo Stragony Strzegom. Triple bar, jak Państwo wiecie, bo wielokrotnie tutaj o tym opowiadałem, to jest przeszkoda, która jest zawsze na parkurze najszersza, w tym przypadku rozpięta na 170 cm, ale uwaga, najwyższy punkt paraboli lotu na tej przeszkodzie przypada dopiero na tym ostatnim drągu, a że jest ta przeszkoda bardzo szeroka, to zawodnik musi konia podprowadzić pod nią maksymalnie blisko, tak, ażeby koń w tym najwyższym punkcie paraboli lotu znalazł się dopiero tutaj. Wyląduje też dość daleko i zaraz po tym lądowaniu musi poszukać kolejnej przeszkody, bo ta kolejna przeszkoda jest ustawiona po łuku. Najlepiej to rozjechać na równe 8 kroków galopu konia, ale można tu zrobić różnie, ponieważ ten łuk jest dosyć głęboki, więc jadąc bardziej do lewej możemy sobie troszeczkę dystans skrócić, jadąc bardziej do prawej możemy ten dystans wydłużyć, ale oczywiście to grozi przekroczeniem normy czasu, bo jak mówi teoria, każdy krok galopu konia, każda fule dodana to około 0,8 sekundy straty i jedziemy po tym łuku do szeregu z 2 stacjonat z logo sponsora tytularnego tej imprezy marki Lotto. 2 stacjonaty, więc 2 pionowe przeszkody po rozciągającym, po triple bar.
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the final day of the FEI Eventing Nations Cup here in Poland. The second leg comes to Strzegom International Horse Trials, the CCIO 4-Star Nations Cup. And the first horse due in the arena at 1:30 BST, 2:30 CEST. And the show jumping course very much set. Beautiful weather conditions here this morning, or this afternoon. The leaderboard going into the show jumping. It's Germany out in front, Jewel Viva and Ruling Spirit on 27.8, with Fuad Mirza for India second, Dajara for 36.4, and Jona Brist for Sweden third, Quattrino on 36.5. The team standings, it is Poland out in front on 128.8, with Germany second, 135.0. Well, the first to go is Mikhail Nastenko for Russia, bringing forwards MP Imagine If, and they start on a two-face score 92.7. 12 jumping efforts, 12 numbered fences, 15 jumping efforts, time allowed at the moment 76 seconds, and every second over the time allowed it is 0.4 of a penalty to add. Well, one fence down is 4 penalties. It's 4 for a refusal, 2 refusals, and you're out. So Russia, our first combination in the arena, lying in 24th place. Ten-year-old Irish sport horse by Shannondale St. Given Z, owned by Tatiana Gura. Jumping really well, this horse, on the final day. Had an interesting time on the cross-country, had a run-out at the B element of the 6th. That fence does go, so 4 penalties to add in a time 79.01. So possibly time penalties to add. They can adjust, the ground jury can adjust the time if they deem to think that that is a sensible move. But not a bad start at all, just that final fence, the Oxer at 12, hitting the grounds. Well, next to go for Denmark, they were first to go on the cross-country yesterday. It is Mia Hastrup with Konstantin M. 69.1, the score that they bring forwards. Disappointing start for Mia. She again had problems out on course. She had a run out at the Arrowhead at 25, and she brings forwards this grey 17-year-old by Concetto, 69.1, lying in 22nd place. He's been a great horse for her and taken her to so many wonderful venues and to so many highs, but also yesterday was a bit of a low point. That fence goes, so 4 penalties to add, and again, so it's expensive. 8, the double, treble on the far side, the Strzegom combination, 8 ABC. It's a wonderful arena, this. So just the double, 11AB, the Lotto double, and the final fence. Time is okay for Mia Hastrup. It's 8 jumping penalties, 69.26 the time taken.
8 penalties.
So 8 to add.
So Mia Hastrup's results is 77.1. Next to go
Takes her on to 77.1. There's the first of her polls. The time for Mikhail Nestenko and MP Imagine If, 1.2 time, so he completes on 97.9. Now, Malin Josefsson, Agaton the 5th. Agaton the 5th for Sweden. by Jaguar Male, 11 years old. They ran into trouble at the first of the bonnets on the cross country yesterday. You may remember that on the bank. It caused a few problems, not many, but great course design by Giuseppe Della Chiesa. Problems widely spread on the cross country. Ooh. So carrying 8. I have to say, these horses looking very well this morning. We did lose a few overnight in the aftermath of the cross country, carrying 12 jumping penalties as she comes home. She will pick up a... No, she won't. She's okay on time. 73.64. 16 jumping, though, it is. So an expensive round for Agaton the fifth and Malin Jösesson for Sweden.
That was me. That was Malin Josefsson with Agaton. Final result 79 penalty points.
So they go on to a score of 79. And next to jump, Jano Vivimp. Well, great time here for him. Mahalia. 58.6 is the score that they bring forwards for Belgium, lying in 17th place. Mahalia by Elvis Taput, owned by Mark Regatz and Jano Vivimp himself. Another one, just a full foul early on in the day at that very narrow triple arrowhead brush coming out of the final water at 25. Otherwise, it was a really good round, really impressed on the cross country yesterday, representing Belgium. A lovely horse. And they certainly did look impressive in actually the dressage and the cross country. Really disappointing run out they had, because after the dressage, Mahalia was actually very well placed in 9th place after dressage, inside the top 10, not too far away from the leaders on 31.8. But the treble, first part of the treble, hits the floor. He's having to work hard, isn't he? Just the one fence left to jump. And okay on the time. 72.34, 76 seconds the time allowed. One fence down, 4 penalties to add for Mahalia. Jano Vivimp. That takes their score on to 62.6. For some reason, on the scoreboard it's saying eliminated show jumping. Well, I don't think he was eliminated. We'll get that confirmed as we go to our next combination. This is Sandra Gustafsson, Sandra for Sweden, riding Koordinat. And she starts in 11th place on 42.5. So Mahalia now just has the 4, finishing on 72.34. So Koordinat came up from 31st with a very good cross-country round to lie in 11th place, rose 20 places after the cross-country. 14-year-old by Laptop.
Rozjechała do tego szeregu Amazonka ze Szwecji. No i teraz zobaczymy, jak pojedzie te linie. Zawodnicy
Jumping well.
rozliczają to na razie najczęściej.
Riding this horse in a hackamore, bitless bridle. jumping brilliantly. Coming home, is this our first clear? Yes, it is. And she punches the air. Great round there for Sandra Gustafsson and Kudenat. Really nice. They finished on 42.5 and a very, very good performance from them. The dressage, well, that slightly let them down on the first day, lying in 31st place, but a really good double clear. Just added 5.2 time on the cross country yesterday. So that will be a great result for them. Next to go, Regis Prudhomme with Tarastro. Tarastro for France. And these two start on 38.9 in 8th place. Tarastro, 14 years old, by Sarastro, owned by SARL Sequip. And also Nathalie Carrière, lying in 8th place. Eighth place on 38.9. These individual riders coming first. So just carrying the 4. Time penalties he's going to add as well. Jumping into time, Regis Prudhomme and Tarastro. So it is 4 jumping. 76 seconds the time allowed. Just didn't quite make the back rail of that Oxa. Otherwise, jumped a really smart round. Well, next to jump, this is Heike Janke with Mighty Spring, representing Germany, lying in 7th place on 38.8. 38.8 for Mighty Spring by Mighty Magic, 11 years old, owned by Carsten Kust and Heike Janke herself. Just added 2.8 time on the cross country. On 27th after dressage, they rose 20 places to line 7th place after the cross country. Ooh, just caught that rail behind. Well through the treble combination. Doesn't look the easiest in the show jumping. Gives her quite a hard ride. But she copes really well. 8 jumping it is in a time of 74.43. So that added to their dressage and cross country. And they will complete Heike Janke on 46.8. Drops them down a couple of places.
Penalty points for the 2 knockdowns. Final score for Heike Janke, 46.8. Next to go, Caro.
Well, now into the show jumping phase. This is Caro Hofrichter for Germany with Lucky von Het Trappersveld. And they start in 6th on 38.4.
rezultat to 46,8, a teraz reprezentant
Well,
kolejny,
36.4
reprezentant Niemiec,
in sixth place.
Hofrichter.
16th after dressage, 4.8 time on the cross country yesterday.
Szóste miejsce, w tej chwili wynik 38,4.
And this 10-year-old by Osterrugs Quintus, owned by Caro Hofrichter herself. Really good on the cross country. Actually did a very nice test as well. Just a couple of mistakes in the dressage on Friday afternoon. In fact, it was Friday morning because the first horse went down the centre line at 8:30, 7:30 UK time. Has got a high head carriage, doesn't he? Which doesn't always make the jumping that easy. And there just goes a little bit hollow in his shape, in his form over a fence, and it is 2 fences down and a time fault as well, 0.4 for being in that second over the time allowed of 76 seconds. So 8.4 to add for Caro Hofrichter and Ducky von het Treppersveld representing Germany. Well, now into the show jumping. This is Frida Andersen with Box Leo, the former Ludwig Schwennestal ride, representing Sweden. Frida lying in 4th place on 36.6. Individual rider. And they start in 6th place. In fact, they start in 4th place. 26th after the dressage. 11-year-old by Jaguar Male. And the dam side quite easy, owned by Therese Orup. And she really needs to jump a clear round. Out in front, Jewel Viva, Ruling Spirit. She's got a couple of fences in hand over Fouad Mirza and Dajara for India. And they will be coming up fairly soon. I think they're actually the next 2 to jump. Box Leo trails his legs, hind legs, over that fence on the far side before the treble. He's quite quick in the air. He's a keen bean. He gave her a great ride on the cross country yesterday, just 2 seconds over the optimum time and incurred 0.8. That optimum time was fairly elusive, and we only saw out of the 50 or so horses that started, 48 horses that started, we only saw 2 that were close to that optimum time. It was 6:46. 2 were 6 minutes 48. But 1 fence down it is inside the time allowed for Box Leo. And they will drop down a couple of places. Frida Andersen.
We now welcome Fouad Mirza, representing India, riding Dayara 4, Holsteiner bred mare, 10 years of age by Carico. Second in this class with 36.4.
Teraz reprezentant Indii, Fouad Mirza. Dosiadający konia Dayara.
Well, now jumping, lying in 2nd place after the dressage and cross country. It is Fouad Mirza for India, Dajara 4, 36.4. And he needs to jump clear because Jona Briest, part of that Swedish team, Cotrino, that will jump a little bit later on, is only 0.1 behind him. And Dajara 4 is usually a pretty good jumper on the final day. And Fouad, very, very good, stylish rider. That fence has come down quite a lot, the upright, before the treble combination on the turn at 7. But I have to say, Dajara 4 on springs. The time surely will be okay. Fouad Mirza, stylish rider. Very tidy, very accomplished. Ah, that fence goes. It's expensive. It is 4 penalties. The time is okay, just 75.6. He knew he had to keep moving around the top end of the arena. So he finishes on 40.4, will head the leaderboard for now, but it means that he has opened up the door slightly for those above him, just trailing the hind leg very slightly on the top rail. 4 penalties it is to add. Well, now to our overnight leader for Germany, Jewel Viva, Ruling Spirit, and they bring forwards a 2 phase score of 27.8, and 27.8 was the dressage at 27 and just zero 0.8 on the cross country yesterday. She was 2 seconds over the optimum time. Could this be a win for the German individual? Of course, we've seen many great winners here of the 4-star, Ingrid Klimke, Michael Jung, to name but a few. Germany, the reigning title holders of the team competition. Oh, she can have that pole down. She can have that pole down as well, but that will now take her on to 35. She can't afford another. She cannot afford another fence down. If she does, she will lose out potentially. Ooh, the nerves. Time is okay. And she jumps the last. So that is fine. That is okay. 71.35. Jewel Viva and Ruling Spirit. 8 penalties to add means they finish on 35.8. And by my reckoning, although I'm not a mathematician, means that they will win this CCIO 4-star individual competition. 35.8 because Jona Briest is on 36.5. She will win the 4-star. We go on to the first team member for Germany. It is Nadine Marzal, Victoria 108. Germany, Poland, Belgium, Sweden is the way that we go. Italy with only 2 riders left in this competition. We saw, unfortunately, overnight that Emiliano Portali with Arachne dell'Esercito Italiano, they withdrew before the show jumping, and also Emiliano Portali's second horse, Virgilio dell'Esercito Italiano, they were eliminated on the cross country, so they had a fall in the water, the last of the waters. So Italy only down to 2 riders. Leaderboards changing all the time. The show jumping influential as we anticipated. Victoria 108 lying in 21st place. The German team lying in second overnight in the team standings on 135. Oh, well, just the 1 fence down, 72.34 for Nadine Marzal. Victoria 108 takes their score on to 71.8. That will keep them in 21st place for the time being, but 1 rail down, it is expensive, and that will add to the German team as well, made up of Elena Otto Early, Katharina Tietz, Josefa Sommer. It'll all come down to the final few riders, and this is what makes this competition so exciting right to the end. Mikael Heikki it is, Moonshine for Poland, and he starts on 106.5, had a couple of runouts on the cross country yesterday. Moonshine is 11 years old by Fly to the Stars. They had a run out at the Bonnet at 14 and the very narrow Arrowheads at 25A coming out of the last water. great to see a number of the younger riders. It's a great platform for the younger riders to be on a Nations Cup team, preparing them in anticipation for championship teams in the future, whether that be European, Olympic, World. Again, that fence at 7 hits the deck, and the first part of the treble, the middle part, leaves the last part up. 12 he is carrying. It's a great experience for them, and it's easy to underestimate just how much pressure, even when you haven't had the best cross country, but when you're on a team, how much pressure you feel. And it's an invaluable experience for these riders. And he will learn, he will take a lot away from this. I think he'll watch this back and he'll have a debrief with the team trainers and Marcin Kornaski there, with all the team trainers and all the helpers and support team. Break this down and learn a lot from it. It's a really important learning curve. Watching him on the cross country, you just thought he could have been a little bit more committed at times to give the horse the direction of where they were going, but 20 jumping inside the time allowed. It's a positive experience rather than a negative experience for those two, Mikhail Haiki and Moonshine. Next to jump, it is Jan Vivim with his second ride. He rides Hilton, representing Belgium, on 87.2, team rider for the Belgian team, and the Belgian team lying in third place on 192.3. Well, Hilton jumped well in the cross country, but just towards the end of their track, he just ran into trouble at the skinny going into the water, missed a flag going into the water, and then also ran into trouble at the brush coming back through the water. It was an expensive time through the water for Hilton and Jano. 11 for the flag, 11 for the rail, and 20 jumping. That's right, he had the rail, the Oxa rail down. One pole hits the floor. So 4 jumping, 74.35 for Jan Vivim, and Hilton for Belgium takes their score on to 92.2. Trying to do maths. Not my strong point. Regis Prudhomme there watching from the sidelines. The Belgian support squad. It's such a big deal, these Nations Cup. Great Britain won the first leg at Houghton Hall. Georgie Spence, Tom McEwen and Molly Summerland. Molly, of course, riding Charlie van der Heijden at Houghton Hall. All finishing on their dressage scores, jumping double clear inside the time. Unbeatable, the British team there. No Brits here in Poland. They're in Poland, I should say. I'm not there. I am in the UK and hope you're enjoying all the coverage from Strzegom. This is Katrin Norling now, Fernando Ucato for Sweden, and they bring forwards 97.9 into the show jumping. 97.9 was made up of a dressage of 33.9. A couple of refusals out on course, another one at the corner in the water, and again we saw them run into trouble at the narrow triple brush arrowhead at 25A. That was really one of the bogey fences on Giuseppe Della Chiesa's course. Giuseppe built this course for the very first time, designed the track, and Marcin Kornaski, they're very good friends, taken over from Martin, and they've had a formidable friendship, and it was a brilliant course the whole way round. Clear to date. Is this going to be another clear round? Yes, it is. And the time, good, 71.48 for Fernando Ukato and Katrin Norlin for Sweden. They will finish on 97.9. A lot to learn on the cross country yesterday again, and they will take that back with them and learn too. Well, now we move on to Germany's second rider, Elena Ottoeli, and finest fellow. 50.1 is their two-phase score, in 14th place in the individual standings. And finest fellow jumped brilliantly. Just wasn't the fastest on the cross country. Added a handful of time faults to the dressage. 12 years old by Fidetance. By the out of the dam, splendid Sophie. The dam sire, Sir Kostakovic. Owned by Katharina and Friedrich Ottoeli. Ooh, lucky moment. Give that pole a good rattle. This will be a great round for double clear Strzegom, and she is 72.28 her time, 76 seconds the time allowed, so nothing to add to her overnight score, and she completes on 50.1. Very, very good round for this pair, and also, more importantly, a very good round for the German squad. Well, now we move to Victoria Knapp for Poland. Quintus 134, 46.5, lying in 12th place in the individual standings. Quintus 134 is a 11-year-old by Quarterman, owned by Bernard Ped and Michael Knapp. Clear jumping on the cross country yesterday, 15.2 time. And he gave her a super ride, but already an early pole on the floor. And the Polish really can't afford to have too many. That takes their score to 132.8 at the moment. The Germans on 135. And this is a counting score for Poland, remember. Another one, 8. Oh, it's all going to come down to the final riders. 12 jumping. It's very, very expensive. It would have been so lovely. It still might be lovely to see a home win for the Polish squad. Germany, the title holders, they won in 2019 and 2020. And 2018, 2017. And the last goes as well. So it's a very expensive round for the Polish rider. Just the wheels slightly wobbling on the cart as they went into the show jumping phase. An early pole just unsettled the nerves, unfortunately. They were lying well individually, but that will drop them right down the leaderboards. So Quintus 134, it is 16 jumping, takes them on to 62.5. Now into the arena. This is for Italy, Andrea Zintonati with Tempesta della Fulgor. 100.3 is their starting score. And the first fence goes. Can really unsettle the nerves, having that first fence down. Tempesta della Fulgor is a 9-year-old mare by Lakota. owned by Lai Angelo. They picked up jumping penalties. The first of theirs was at the two skinny brushes at 6A, 6B. They ran out to the right-hand side at 6B. And then again, further trouble at the narrow arrowhead brush at 25C on the top of the bank. She's a quick mare, economical with her jump. She's compact. She's a really feisty man. I think that was what slightly ran her into trouble yesterday on the cross country, thinking that she knew best a lot of the time. But it is 3 fences down, 12 jumping, 72.91 there for Andrea Cincinnati and Tempesta della Fogo. So 12 jumping takes them on to 112.3. Now it is Julia Schmitz. Julia with Ladylike. And if anyone watched the dressage Friday morning, you know that Ladylike was anything but. She was really quite rude to Julia in the dressage, as a lot of them were. So she's representing Belgium. She's a super mare, but she just got a little bit naughty in the dressage on Friday morning, but brilliant on the cross country yesterday. Clear, and she took the direct routes, came home with 15 or 16 time faults on the cross country. I think it was 16 time. Julia Schmitz for Belgium on the team. Team currently sitting in third. 12-year-old by Levisto's Big Boy, owned by Bruno Schmitz. (1.25 m), the maximum height for these fences. So carrying 4 jumping. Eight. Just didn't quite get the stride she wanted to the first part of the Lotto double, so that hits the ground as well. 8 jumping it is for Ladylike. Takes their score on to 61.5.
8 punktów karnych, czas 75-26. To jest doliczone nie tylko do wyniku Amazonki, ale do wyniku drużyny belgijskiej, co powoduje, że
About 8 left to jump. And the next into the arena, Christopher Forsberg. Christopher riding Con Classic 2. 74.5 is his two-face score. Con Classic 2 is a 8-year-old by Concours Complete, owned by Mike Clean. Another one to fall foul of the arrowhead on the top of the bank at 25C. And a few time penalties, because his round with Con Classic was pretty faultless until then. It was a lovely round to watch.
Zawodnik ma na swoim koncie aż 3 medale Mistrzostw Europy, 1 srebrny z kategorii juniorów i 2 brązowe z kategorii młodych jeźdźców. A warto wrócić tutaj jeszcze do nazwy ojca tego konia, bo koń nazywa się Concours Complete, a to po francusku oznacza WKKW.
Well, carrying the 8 jumping. I think we've only seen so far 2 clears. 12 it is now 11:16. Ooh, that was expensive. And a time fault as well for Con Classic 2, Christopher Forsberg.
And final score of Christopher Forsberg will be 90.5.
So he moves on to just adding fingers and toes, 90.5. And that will drop him down a couple of places only at the moment. Well, now we go down to the final feud. Katharina Tietz with Aspen T for Germany, team rider for Germany, lying in 13th place on 48.0. And these two certainly impressed on the cross country yesterday. Aspen T is an 11-year-old by Konstako. The Damsar, another of the Hanoverians, Sir Shostakovich, owned by Monica and Katharina Tietz. Fabulous on the cross country, 11.6 time faults, and they start in 13th place on 48.0. Well, now 4 to add. Moves them on to 52. He's a jumper. Just occasionally lacking a little bit of technique. He's certainly got the scope. Ooh, just got a little bit quick in the middle of that double. And the last goes as well. 12 jumping it is to add. Well, looking down the board so far, we've had 1, 2 clears, 3 clears only. And that is Catherine Norling, Fernando Ocato, also for finest fellow, Eleanor Otto Early, and also Sandra Gustafsson and Kudenat. 3 clears so far. We go down the leaderboard even further now, and lying in 10th place, Jan Kaminski for Poland. Jan riding yard, and they bring forwards 41.8 in 10th place. This will be a real popular round if he can jump clear. They're lying in 10th, and Yard is an 11-year-old, and they bring forwards the dressage of 32.6 and 9.2 time on the cross country, but an early rail already. They start the show jumping on a score of 41.8, but that rail drops them already down 3 places. Ooh, ooh, lucky. I think, again, nerves and pressure getting to these riders. And there's even more pressure being on home soil. You've done well, you've gone well on the cross country, did good dressage. And again, that Lotto fence is certainly proving a bit of a bogey fence. And the last goes as well. 75.72. Marcin Konaski there. So it's 12 jumping for Yard. Jan Kaminski takes them on to 53.8.
4 knockdowns, so 16 points for Jan Kaminski, and for the team of Poland, 57.8.
57.8, in fact, 16 jumping it is. 57.8 drops them down into about 18th place at the moment. Well, now we go back to Italy, and this is Roberto Rigonelli with Utrillo Chatelier. 59.1 in 18th place. The Italian Utrillo Chatelier is and a 13-year-old by L'Arc de Triomphe, owned by Sara Bertoli. Good steady round for this grey on the cross country. They just added time faults to their dressage of 35.1. They start in 18th place. Did that pole go? Yes, it did. Off camera. Very slow pole, but it hit the floor. It's quite difficult when you're not there, knowing exactly what's going on. So trying to do my best from the UK, having not walked across country either. It's quite a difficult task, but we're trying to bring you all of the action as it unfolds here, there in Strzegom. One fence down and a time fault, 4.4 to add for Utrillo Chatelier, and Roberto Riganelli takes their score on to 63.5. Will hold on to 18th place at worst. Will hold on to 18th at worst. We're down to the final few riders, and it's 4 left to go. Belgium, Sweden, Germany, Poland, and it's Mano Minna with Cool Dancer, 51.6 in 15th place after the dressage and after the cross country. 9-year-old Grey, this Holsteiner by Kashas, owned by Jan Knockaerts and Nino Minna. Clear jumping. They were 13th after dressage on a score of 35.6. In fact, 24th after dressage on 35.6. It was 16 time on the cross country yesterday. But more importantly, those team results, they are changing. Germany now out in front, 147. Poland 165. Belgium 204. Sweden 224. And Italy, well, having lost Emiliano Portali and Arachne dell'Esercito Italiano this morning before the show jumping, means that they're down to only 2 riders, so they add 1,000 to their team score. Really jumping, Cool Dancer. Super horse. Very impressive. And jumps the last, but it is time faults to add. 76, it's 78.02, so it'll be 1.2 time, because the 78.02 is the next incurred second, so it's 3 seconds over. 1.2 to add. They will complete on 52.8 and will hold on to 15th place for the time being. We'll get that confirmed for you.
Just 0.8 for the time.
In fact, she gets 0.8.
The result will be 52.4, and the Belgian team will be
0.8 of a time fault she incurs. So she goes on to 52.4 and will finish 15th or less. Well, this is Gek Ekrogrip's Simple Smile. Josefa Sommer lying in 3rd place. She can't win this title, but she could be 2nd or 3rd. She needs to jump a clear round. 5th after the dressage. 6.4 time added from the cross country. 13-year-old this mare by Stilipso and owned by Gek Equitech GmbH. So 3rd place for the German team rider, and the last team rider for Germany In fact, this is not Germany. This is Jona Briest and Quattrino. So apologies. I don't know where I got that from. Quattrino, Jona Briest for Sweden, lying in third place. But she has had one fence down, now two fences down in 74. Half asleep, don't know why. So Jona Briest and Quattrino with 8 jumping. Completes on 44.4, drops her down a few places. That drops them down probably 5 places now, in fact. This is Get Equigrip Simple Smile, Josefa Sommer now for Germany. And she'll need to jump a clear round to keep her in second. She cannot afford to have one fence down because Fouad Mirza and Dajara, they're on 40.4, 36.9. If she adds 4 to that, moves on to 40.9, which will drop her into third. In fact, will drop her to fourth place if she has one fence down. That's how close it is.
I ma jeszcze szansę na drugie miejsce indywidualnie, jeśli ten parkour pokona bezbłędnie.
Uh-oh, there's her pole. So that does drop her down 4 places, 3 places in fact. Can't afford another. And the lotto double looming has been a bit of a tricky fence. Steady, not too quick, not too quick. Beautiful, lovely. And jumps the last. Time is okay, but one fence down. It's so expensive. It takes her on to 40.9, and she will finish in 4th place. But we've got one that could go above her, and he is last to go. And into the arena comes Maciej Kempa. It is Laszben Radovics for Poland, 40.5. He was in 9th place after the dressage and cross country, but with all the poles that have fallen today, he is lying in 3rd place, and he needs to jump clear 40.5. It's 40.4 in 2nd, 40.6 in 4th, and he sits right in the middle there. Laszben Radovics, 18 years old by Radolin, owned by Anna Manzak. 3rd after dressage. Added 12.8 time on the cross country. They did a super test. He was so lovely to watch, this gelding, Irish sport horse, and brilliant on the cross country. I just didn't know whether he got that extra gear, but he just stayed in a relentless rhythm and jumped and was so honest. And Matthew's given him a peach of a ride. And he's doing the same again. I don't want to put the mockers on it because I think he's jumping really well. I really hope this horse does jump clear because at 18 years old, he looks brilliant. Come on. You've just got one fence left to jump. And that's the way to do it. Well done, Maciej Kempa. And Laszben Radovic, that will please the home crowd. He will finish in 3rd place on 40.5. The team scores, well, they've been changing all afternoon. We'll get them confirmed just as soon as we can. But that leaderboard, it has changed dramatically. And one of the best results, I think, there's 2 in the top 5. 12th after dressage, it was the Dajara 4, Fouad Mirza. They were 12th after dressage. They finished 2nd. And also 26th after the dressage was Frida Anderson and Box Leo. They finish in 4th place. So the results of the individual competition for the Nations Cup, the CCIO 4-Star Nations Cup here in Strzegom. It's a win for Ruling Spirit Jewel Viva, 35.8. India's Fuad Mirza in second, Dejara 4, 40.4. 40.5, Polish rider Maciej Kemper and Lasben Radovics. In 4th place, 40.6, is Box Leo Frida Anderson for Sweden. 5th, Josef Sommer and Gekek Great Simple Smile, 40.9. 6th, Sweden Sandra Gustafsson and Kudenat, 42.5. And 7th is Regis Prudhomme for France, Terastro on 43.7. The team standings, well, it was very tight overnight, but the polls fell sparingly in the show jumping today, and it's another win for the German team. They go home with 100 points, finishing in first place on 151.0. Poland, 90 points on 165.2, finishing in second. And the Belgian team, 80 points, finishing in third, 205.1. Sweden fourth and Italy in fifth. What a competition we have had here today in Strzegom. The second leg of the Nations Cup has been eventful. It has been spectacular. It has been, at times, delightful. But it has been interesting from start to finish. From the dressage on Friday morning, the cross-country yesterday, to the show jumping here today, it has been a spectacular of all-round horsemanship in all three phases. And to the team in Strzegom, they've done a fabulous job putting this second leg on in Poland. Well, the wagons roll on to the third leg. That's in August in France, at Radapin, the 12th to the 15th. Bromont, the 13th to the 15th in Canada of August. And then Arvier in Belgium for the next leg. The final two legs, it is Ballendenisk in September. The dates to be yet confirmed. And then Boekelo in the Netherlands, the final leg, the 7th to the 10th of October. We hope that you can join us. We are going to stay here for the prize giving ceremony of the FEI Eventing Nations Cup in Poland. What a show it has been. Friday brought the rain, and Saturday morning the cross country started with the lower classes and the 4-star short CCIO 4-star. Well, that was eventful because we had a lot of horses slipping on the flat and a lot of problems out there on the cross country that Giuseppe Della Chiesa had presented for the very first time. This arena has seen a lot of action today as well for the show jumping phase. Poles have been falling all over the place, but that leaderboard, although changing, it was Jewel Viva that kept her nerve. She did have two fences down, but it was enough after the dressage and cross country to clinch this title here in Poland. Germany, well, they're a force to be reckoned with. She can't quite believe it. The likes of Kai Ruder, Ingrid Klimke, Michael Jung have previously been victorious here in the 4-star. And we go back even further. If I can wreck my memory, Yoshihiko Iowa for Japan took the long format 4-star the year that Ingrid won. That was in 2018, 17, 18. And it has always been a fascinating, in fact, that was last year, 2020, when Yoshi won the 4-star long. It's always been a fascinating competition. And Germany have been very, very successful in the Nations Cup. France also, they won back here in 2018. Great Britain back in 2016. Germany, though, they absolutely love this competition and have certainly been the team to beat, and they've done it once again in 2021. Funny old year last year. It's starting to get back to some remnants of normality, and we are enjoying every second of it. Bringing you live pictures, being able to commentate on it, though not there, being able to do that remotely is just fantastic. And we hope you're enjoying all of the coverage. Clip My Horse, FEI TV, the coverage here in Poland, Strzegom. I think that Jill is a little bit emotional down there with Ruling Spirit. And the man behind, I think, has done a fabulous job. Fuad Mirza for India, Dejara 4. Absolutely brilliant. Rode a lovely test on Friday morning. On the cross country yesterday afternoon, looked amazing. He's so stylish, has a great lower leg, a really good balanced position over a fence. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this horse as well. Just had that one fence down in the show jumping, but that still wouldn't have been enough to win this title. But my goodness me, what a story that would have been for this guy if he'd have taken the title here in Strzegom. Maciej Kemper, the highest placed individual Polish rider, Lasban Radovic, so that'll please the home crowd. He's there, look in the background on his telephone. But great that he is in the top three. So we start with the individual prize giving, and then we'll move on to the Nations Cup team prize giving. And we're bringing you those pictures live here as they walk into the arena. Celebrate Good Times is playing in the background. And quite right. What a celebration for this young lady. Jewel Viva, Ruling Spirit, walking as if they hadn't even done anything. He looks so cool. He's 18 years old by Ruben Royal. And interestingly, we've got two 18-year-olds in the top three. Who says you can't do this job when you're an old horse? Yeah, age is yet but a number. There is the Polish individual, Maciej Kemper, finishing in third place. I think that the Polish, and it's great to have a few crowds here today as well. We welcome the presentation party in, and that will be Katrin Eichinger-Kniely, the president of the ground jury, along with Xavier Lasource. There is Xavier in his suit just against the fence line there. Very, very emotional, Jewel Viva. She'll get even more emotional in a second when she hears the national anthem. Brilliant result for this young lady. I don't think she can quite believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the
So we'll stand now for the national anthem of Germany. Well, a national anthem for 4-star. She's heard the national anthem on a couple of previous occasions. She's a former gold individual medalist on the Pony Europeans. And also team gold at the same Europeans back in 2009. But this is a very, very special moment for this young lady. Jewel Viva and ruling spirit. So the congratulations go to her. And what a moment. She will remember this for a very, very long time. And there, Catherine Eichinger-Kniely and Xavier Lesource, the grand jury members, congratulating Jewel. Oh, she's taken the trophy away. Is that not for her? Unless she's taken it away just so she can do the lap of honour. Possibly. Seems a bit mean. Didn't have it for more than 2 seconds. So congratulating then in second place. It was Fouad Mirza Dejara. There he is. And in third place, it was Maciej Kemper for Poland. Germany, India, Poland. Fabulous result here in Strzegom. Do stay with us because we will have the prize giving for the Nations Cup teams. So lap of honour time. It's a quick individual prize giving. They're up against the time. Jewel, make sure you're listening. It's lap of honour time. Off you go. Fouad Mirza in second. Dejara four. Jewel, go. Go. And then Maciej Kemper in third. Enjoy this moment, Jewel, because they are very few and far between, as we all know, in the sport of eventing. Great job she did. She was second after dressage, just added 0.8 to her dressage score, having gone 2 seconds over the time on the cross country yesterday and lowered 2 poles. She could afford to have those 2 poles to lift the title and be the 2021 CCIO 4-star short winner here in Strzegom. Maciej Kemper for Poland third, Fouad Mirza for India in second. Well, we then move on to the prize giving of the team competition. Hope you're still with us wherever you're watching around the world as the top 3 leave the arena. They're just dressing the horses and riders in the warm-up area in Strzegom before they come into this arena. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's a lovely all-weather arena. I remember being there for the European Championships back in 2017. And it was just a magical place to be in. Of course, then we had a lot more crowds and a lot more atmosphere, but it's so nice to see that there are people coming back to eventing. We are now allowing those crowds back in slowly but surely. But do stay with us because I can just see them making their way towards the tunnel. The teams for the Nations Cup, second leg. There they are, gathering. I amazed myself at my eyesight then. Well, the team competition, it was Poland that led after dressage, Poland that led after cross-country, but a real shake-up today after the show jumping. It was influential which is probably an underestimated word in the show jumping, because I think 3 clear rounds in the show jumping phase certainly sorted the wheat from the chaff. So leading the teams in, it is Team Germany, who are victorious here. Poland second. Ooh. Oh dear. Poland in second. And in third place, Belgium. Well, a very proud German team, I've no doubt. Polish team getting a round of applause. Belgian team also. So just stepping forwards, we may have a bit of an excited team. There is so our reserve rider, Nadine Marzal, Victoria 108, the team, Josefa Sommer, Elena Otto Early, Catherine Tietz, the German team. I think she may choose to go out of the arena if he doesn't settle, because it's never easy when they don't want to stand. Ooh. They're all getting quite upset now. Yeah, I think she probably is going to leave the arena. Nadine. Hans Meltzer. Chef de keeps very crucial to the teams. So we're just getting these horses settled down for the prize giving. The Polish team made up of Mateusz Kemper, who finished individually in third, Jan Kaminski, Yards, Victoria Knapp, Quintus 134, and Mikhail Heike in Moonshine, who will have gained valuable experience as they dismount for the unmounted prize giving. It's a protocol necessity from the FEI that they have to be on the podium. It's a podium prize giving, very much traditional and keeping and sticking with tradition. And the Belgian team is made up of Mana Minna, Cool Dancer, Julia Schmitz, Ladylike, Jana Vivim, Hilton, and Lara Dalida Kakamaya, and Kaskaria the fifth. So Kaskaria and Lara Dalida Kakamaya. They unfortunately didn't complete. They had a few problems out there on the cross country, but very much still part of the team. Well, there is Marcin Kanaski, the chef de keep. So the Belgian team step onto the podium, and the Belgian team, Mana Minna, Julia Schmitz, Jana Vivim, and Lara Dalida Kakamaya. The Polish team, Mateusz Kemper, Jan Kaminski, Victoria Knapp, and Mikhail Heike. Second place, and it will be a popular second place for them. And the winners of the second leg of the Nations Cup is Germany, Josefa Sommer, Elena Otto Early, Katarina Tietz, and Nadine Marzal. So great result for the German team here. 100 points they will take home as we stand for the national anthem once again of Germany. Well, a very well-deserved round of applause for all three teams as the presentation party also now step forward and present the German team with their trophy. Absolutely delighted, the German team, and once again the team of Josef Sommer, Elena Otto-Early, Katharina Tietz and Nadine Marzal. And amongst those, of course, we had riders that finished in 5th, 14th, 13th. The Nations Cup silver salver going to the winning team, Hans Melzer, just receiving that on behalf of the German team, chef de keep of the German team.
And the trophy of the FEI handing over by Mrs. Anna Zalewska, the member of the European Parliament. And also trophies made of Strzegom granite for the best team handed out by Mr. Philip Sondi from the National Center for Agricultural Support. And the trophy for the second and third place handed by Mr. Zbigniew Suchita-Mayer of Strzegom.
I jeszcze bardzo ważne trofeum dla zwycięskiej drużyny ze Strzegomskiego Granitu. To trofeum wręcza pan Filip Sondi, reprezentujący Krajowy Ośrodek Wsparcia Rolnictwa. Trofea za miejsca drugie i trzecie wręczy gospodarz terenu.
So congratulating our winning teams. And of course the grand jury members there now, Catherine Eichinger-Kniely and Xavier Lasource, congratulating all of the riders and chef de keeps. What a job they've done. It's no easy feat. It's a hard job, and especially the team competition. It's a very popular competition, but it's a tough one to win. And the Germans, they really did hold on to their nerve once again to win here in Strzegom.
Nagrodę otrzymuje Wiktoria Knab, reprezentantka Polski. A nagrodę wręczy pani Tisse von Werner z Fundacji Świętego.
So Victoria Knapp receiving, I'm not sure, here we go. It's a Young Talent Award, and that's gone to the Polish rider. It's the Polish Talent Trophy to Victoria Knapp. Congratulations to her. She had a brilliant ride, finished 7th individually. As the official photographs just being taken now, the grand jury members, what a job they've done as well. So they will just take their official photographs now. It will go all around. There is Libby Law. Libby, very popular photographer on the circuit, just telling them all to smile and blows them a kiss. All the official photographs that will go around the world. Brilliant competition from start to finish. It's not been without its dramas, that is for sure. And the biggest drama that we probably saw yesterday was that of Tim Lips, who was the overnight leader with TMX Herbie. Overnight leader after the dressage. Sadly, they ran into trouble on the cross country, and TMX Herbie was incredibly strong for Tim, and he just could not hold him. And they ran out at the 20th. You may remember on the cross country, that was quite late on, but the steering was really going. That was the skinny brush, the skinny corner coming out of the water. And then again at the top of the bank at the narrow arrowhead, that brush arrowhead. Tim did get home, but another one that withdrew before the show jumping this morning, but a big story here. 26.2 is dressage. He didn't have the best of times in Lemulin and rerouted here, as did the winner of this class individually. Jule Viva, Ruling Spirit, they didn't run cross-country in Lemulin, did the dressage, but didn't run in the 4-star short, decided to reroute here to Strzegom, and what a good decision that turned out to be. So the riders remounting, and it will be lap of honour time for the Nations Cup. And they're led away by the victorious German squads. Joseph Sommer, Geke Krogret, Simple Smile. Eleanor Otto Early, Finest Fellow. Katharina Tietz, Aspen T. And Nadine Marzal, Victoria 108. I think Nadine sensibly left the arena a little bit earlier on. The Polish team in second, Maciej Kempa, Jan Kaminski with Yard, Victoria Knapp and Quintus 134 also receiving that Young Talent Award just a few moments ago, and Mikhail Heike Moonshine. And in third, it was Belgium, Marion Manamina, Cool Dancer, Julia Schmitz, Ladylike, Jarno Vivimp, Hilton, and Lara Dalida Kakamaya, Cascaria the fifth. We hope you've enjoyed all of the action here in Strzegom for 2021. The CCI 4-star Nations Cup short is now complete. Germany are victorious in the team competition, as too they were in the individual competition, with Jule Viva and Ruling Spirit winning the individual title. It's been fun, it's been emotional, but above all, it has been great to be back eventing once again. Make sure you join us for leg 3 coming up in August, at Radapin and Bromont, the 12th to the 15th and the 13th to the 15th of August, as the wagons roll on. From myself, Spencer Sturmey, and the whole team from Clip My Horse and Strzegom International Horse Trials, we hope you've enjoyed it. But for now, goodbye.